Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your February 2022 reading. Happy birthday to all my February Aquariuses. I hope this is a really special month for you guys. So I just wanted to start out by saying that I set the intention for these astrological sign videos to be, yours for Aquarius to be for Aquarius suns and Aquarius rising. Of course, Aquarius moons, you are always welcome to watch these videos as well. In case there are any messages that come through that you feel like are aligned with you. And as well, cross watchers are always welcome, because if you know an Aquarius in your life, or you have heavy Aquarius placements, these messages might resonate for you as well, or they might be messages that you would like to share, share this video, or just pass along the messages. But of course, any exposure, any sharing of this channel to help it grow, I would so appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get into your reading. So I already did a collective reading for the month of February, and the collective card of the month is Strength. So if you haven't already watched that video, I strongly suggest that either you pause this video and go watch the collective video and come back, or you can watch this video all the way through and then go watch the collective reading. Totally up to you. There are no rules, but I strongly suggest either way that you choose that you definitely make time to do that, because I go further into what the collective energy is and more into the card of Strength. This video is more zooming in on what strength means for your sign, and what aspect of strength that Spirit wants you to pay attention to for the month of February. So this is less about the collective and more tailored to you, Aquarius. So let's get into it and pull a focus card. All right, we already got some that are trying to fly out, but that's too many. Spirit, can you please have one focus card for Aquarius for the month of February 2022? What aspect of strength does Aquarius? Will Aquarius want to focus on? Okay, we got the Six of Cups in reverse, and then we got the Lovers. So let me see. So there are two 6 cards, very similar energy. Just excuse me for a moment while I scry and feel these cards. Okay, I'm really feeling, especially since this is a major, that the Lovers is your card, because it's really all-encompassing. It includes all of the minor suits. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as the Lovers is really your focus when it comes to strength in this month of February. So when we look at strength, we're talking about making friends with the parts of you that, making friends with all of yourself and living authentically. Leo rules the heart. So it's really, heart-centered living and learning how to show up fully as yourself, and, not being afraid to just be who you are and be firm in that. So what I see for February with the Lovers is like, if we're zooming in, it's like with our authenticity in relationships, especially with Venus retrograde, just ending January 29th, that we want to see that authenticity reflected in our relationships. And the Lovers is not always about romantic relationships. It can be any kind of relationship. It can be your relationship to your community. It can be your relationship to your work, your friends, your family, any kind of relationship. It can absolutely be romantic as well, but it's like anything outside of myself. I want to see a reflection of my best self, my most authentic self. I want to see, I want my work to be authentically aligned with who I am. I want my friends, to be living their most authentic life, because that as well, it's a reciprocal energy. It's almost like it feeds, you feed each other with your energy, as well as with your family or chosen family, what have you, in your relationship, just everywhere, in your work. Like, you want that work to really be a reflection of your authenticity, where you're putting your stamp on it, and it is really something that you're passionate about. And it's like, when people look at it, they see, that, this card is ruled by Gemini, that you're channeling, you're communicating. Gemini is all about communication. You're communicating what you love, in a way that is true to you. So that's really what I'm seeing for you this month, is like, that's where you want to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a grounding oracle that kind of like pulls these two together and gives us some more information from Spirit about how these two cards are going to link up for you and what they want you to do with this energy. So can I get one grounding oracle, please? Went flying. Okay. Well, this is more than one. So let's see. Yeah, I'm really getting the feeling of, with this fox, and especially with the Lover's card, Gemini is mutable energy. And here we go with shapeshift, red fox. So like, this is an energy where it's like, it's like whatever community you're in, they could be very different. And it won't mean that just because they're different that you're not being authentically you when you're there. It's like, it's giving you an opportunity to let different aspects of yourself shine. So it's almost like you'll be a bit of a chameleon this month. Like, at work, you're really going to fit in that authenticity is going to stand out. But at the same time, it's going to look different than your home life. It's going to look really different than, if you have a coven or a community or a place where you worship. It's going to look different than when you're, hanging out with your friends, whether that's virtual or in person, hopefully safe, COVID safe. Every aspect of your life is going to be an opportunity for you to be your authentic self and show some aspects of vulnerability. You see these two people, they're naked and they're not ashamed, and that's a beautiful thing. It's like they're able to embrace each other. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people in your life this month, Aquarius, that are going to embrace you in your authenticity, no matter what form you show up in, because it's always going to be from a place of authenticity. So let's go ahead and start pulling your tarot. So the first card is where you are at the start of the month. So Spirit, may I please get one card for where Aquarius is at the start of February, please. Show me clearly. Well, I almost wanted to fly out. Okay, all right. Well, we got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a really stable energy. This is really good. And again, this is heart chakra energy. We see a lot of green in this card. Pentacles energy is very earth. There's a lot of earth in this Lover's card, as well as the green at the bottom of the Strength card. So you're going to feel very grounded very rooted. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that has both of his feet firmly planted in the ground. But this doesn't feel like stuck energy to me. It feels very methodical. It feels very planned out, like you've had time during Mercury retrograde that was going through your first house. Like you've had time to really review and think about what you want for yourself authentically, you know. And then with Venus retrograde, that was going through your 12th house of your subconscious, where, you know, some of those things that were buried really deep might have come up to the surface to, you know, really be healed in the area of relationships. And it's like, now that you have these, it's almost like, you know, I've seen the Ace of Pentacles come out in a few of these readings. Like the Knight is holding this pentacle in this empty field. It's like, you know, it's been plowed for you. It's been, you know, already like tended to and prepped for you to go and plant those pentacles for, you know, the next cycle, for you to grow them. And that could be in the area of your relationships and in many realms, because we have shapeshift here. So, you know, it's not the same. It's not one thing, you know, and you're going to be able to shapeshift into so many different roles, but it won't feel, you know, it's not a chaotic feeling. It's a very grounded feeling. Like you're finally able to put your, you know, put your hands in a lot of different pots, or like, you know, have a lot of different things going at one time. And that is very Aquarian to me, because, you know, that is very related to being in group settings, which is where Aquarius thrives. Like, you know, it's the collective conscious. So, you know, you're really going to be connecting with that and wanting to be connected this February, especially as the Sun and Mercury transit your first house. And then, you know, eventually Venus is going to, I'm not sure of what the dates are, but Venus will be joining them in Aquarius. So, you know, you're going to get a glow up too, is what I feel with that. So the next card that we're going to look at is a challenge that may arise this month for my lovely Aquariuses. One card, please, Spirit, show me clearly. It's a challenge. It's Knight of Pentacles energy. Okay. So Ace of Swords in reverse. Ace of Swords in reverse could be like a little bit of confusion, you know, a little bit of lag time from, you know, still processing some of that information, you know, the things that came up during Mercury retrograde. And, you know, maybe it's like, you know, I thought I understood this, and, you know, about who I am or what I wanted in relationships, or, you know, maybe what I'm seeing in other people is not necessarily what I want, you know, but it's giving you time, you know, because Pentacles are, you know, not an energy that's fast. Ace of Swords is very, you know, swords and the wands, I've said this in a few videos, are very fast energy. So this is almost like the challenge is to slow down, like this Knight of Pentacles, like slow your mind down to really process some of that information that happened during the retrograde period, because, you know, it's a lot to integrate. And there's a lot of planning that it seems like you're going to do. The Knight of Pentacles is one of those energies that is very, very associated with planning. I associate this card with Virgo, you know, so it's like one step at a time. It's mutable earth. And I really feel like, you know, you're going to be having to learn how to, you know, and it's also air, you know, all nights are air. So it's you know, air of earth with being Knight of Pentacles. So it's like with this Ace of Swords, it's like, how can I slow down that mental energy? Because Aquarius, you're an air sign. And yeah, you're ruled by Uranus. Uranus moves like in a very quirky way. And, it's very out there, and not everybody will understand your vision sometimes, so that might be a reason why you feel like a shapeshifter, or sometimes that, you feel like, and this might be a message for only certain people, but it's coming through very strongly that you are shapeshifting to fit in with certain groups. But at the same time, it's almost like this paradox of like, I don't know how to not be myself, because that is, that is the only way that I know how to be. So it's like, even in this, kind of mutable energy, even with, Aquarius being a fixed sign, it's air, and air moves quickly, and it blows where it, goes where it blows, that, it can feel like, am I really being my authentic self? There might be a little bit of questioning of that. And when you're, in relationship with other people or community, or your surroundings, there might be a little bit of a lack of clarity. But it's okay to question that, Aquarius, because you're still integrating, you're still learning. We never stop learning, but that it's okay to feel that way. So just take it slow. Don't try to rush yourself. So the next card is how we tackle that challenge, how to take decisive action to deal with this Ace of Swords in reverse energy. So let's take a look at that. Spirit, can I have one card for Aquarius? How to tackle this challenge of Ace of Swords in reverse in February. Okay, the Two of Swords in reverse. All right, well, ain't that a message? Okay, so I am instantly getting from this that, okay, you need to be definitely grounded with this Pentacles energy that you're in at the beginning of the month. Sustain that, because you have two swords that are in the reverse. Aces are pure manifestations of the suit. So this is all air, and it feels really untethered. And then it's like, the antidote to that is not to throw yourself out of balance by getting overly emotional about what you don't know, what you feel like you don't understand. Because the Two of Swords is like, I'm covering my eyes so I can hear myself think, so I can tune into my higher self. All of the twos are linked to the High Priestess in the tarot. So it's like, it's almost like telling your eyes, shut up so I can hear myself think, and, when you can't really, you don't feel like you have access to your higher self, or you don't feel like, Spirit is talking to you, and you guys are ruled by the star. The star speaks to very deep spiritual connection, and the ability to heal and regenerate and constant renewal, that it can make you feel really out of touch. So this being how to tackle that challenge is like, don't throw yourself out of balance between being logical, going too far over to throwing yourself into your emotions. And then if you're feeling super activated and emotional, or something is triggering and upsetting you, don't try to over mentalize it. Okay? Like, remember the Knight of Pentacles and get back to groundedness. Get some earth under you. Maybe spend some time outside, and, if that's possible, or, if you have plants inside, find some way to introduce some earth into your day, because there's lots of there's air here and there's air and water here, that you need some way to kind of ground that, since these are coming out in the reverse. It's like this energy feels unmanageable, and you want to do the Two of Swords in a way where you feel balanced, where like you're not doing head over heart or heart over head, that they're in balance, almost like, you know, an infinity loop, just like in the Strength card, that they feed each other in a way that helps you feel safe and protected. So that is a really strong message that's coming through. So the last tarot card is going to be where you may be at the end of the month. So by the end of February, what can we expect for Aquarius, please? One card for Aquarius. End of February. Where might Aquarius be at the end of February? Oh, there we go. Right. And yeah, this is an upright. It came out on the side, so I wasn't sure, but yeah. I scryed into my crystal ball, and I definitely saw this being upright. So this definitely says to me that you're listening to spirit, you're listening to your higher self, and really understanding that these challenges, that you really have to surrender a little bit of this energy, to be able to maintain a little bit of your rootedness, your groundedness, so that you can plant those seeds. Because towards the end of the month, this is another 6, you're going to be feeling really abundant, where, you know, you feel like you have the energy, you have, you know, the emotional spaciousness, you have, you know, everything that, all of the suits encompass. You're going to feel really victorious. And it's going to feel really, you know, just like you're able to be in a place where you can be of service to other people. Because Aquarius, at their best, Aquarius, you are someone who can come together to help others, you know, and, you know, that is usually in a collective group sense. And, you know, it's not even that you're doing it in a way that's looking down at others. It's like from a place of like, I've been down bad before, and just like you are here, like these scales will balance out. Like this could be me again. And, you know, it's always a greater social responsibility for you, Aquarius. You feel that innately, to be of service to your fellow man. Like whether or not it does anything for you doesn't matter. But the wonderful thing is that it does give you that sense of, you know, abundance, of I have served the collective in some way. And you're going to be feeling that at the end of the month. Maybe that you're gearing up for that in the months to come. Not necessarily that you'll be doing this at the end of the month. February is the shortest month of the year. That would be a lot to accomplish, a lot of hurdles to jump. But it's like, you know, this is the beginning of a new solar year for you. And this is kind of the root of where you're going right now. We're in a lover's year, and you're pulling lovers in this February month, where, you know, the sun is transiting your first house. That is very aligned. So now what we're going to do is pull some oracle cards that bridge each of these cards together and give us a little bit more information. And each of these decks that I'm using, I will be putting in the description box below. But this is the Personal Power Oracle deck. So Spirit, can I please have one message that bridges together the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in reverse for my beautiful Aquariuses for the month of February. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Look at that. This is a Gemini card. A Gemini card, you got the Lovers. That is Gemini, ruled by Gemini. I am connected. And what did I say? You're going to be connecting with a lot of different groups, doing things, shape-shifting into a lot of different roles. And this may not be completely, this might just be the spark, the beginning, the planting of these seeds where you start moving forward step by step this month. But this is where you're meant to be. This is kind of what Spirit is saying. Like, Aquarius, I want you to know that you're connected and you're being divinely guided, but take your time. Allow things to unfold the way that they're meant to, because all of your cards are really in alignment with that message. Okay, so let's pull one more oracle to bridge together this Ace of Swords, Two of Swords in reverse energy. Let's see what it has to say. One card for my Aquariuses. This is really great. I'm excited for this next year for you guys. Okay. Look at that. What did I say? You're not meant to rush. Have patience and wait. All right. All will be revealed. And I had this card for someone else in this exact same spot, but that message is really clear. The energy in the collective with the transits that we're having, especially with Pluto, especially with Uranus right now, requires a lot of patience. The energy is really wild. And if you try to fight that, and not surrender when the time calls for it, it's going to bite back, and that's not to scare you or anything. It's just that, sometimes we're meant to stop. Sometimes we're meant to go. Other times we're meant to have patience and wait, pause and reflect, and digest. And this feels like the time where it's like, have a little bit of faith, have a little bit of rootedness, and, faith in yourself and faith in Spirit, that when the time comes to move, you will know, because you're connected. Okay, so the final card that I'm going to pull for you, Aquarius, is an inner child message for the month of February. And let's see. Okay, these two came out, but I'm just going to pull, read the entire one for the top card. But look at the bottom. Do what you need to do. And sometimes doing what you need to do means have some patience, like that not everything is meant to be done right now. And look, you can do hard things. And sometimes sometimes the hardest thing out of everything is having the patience, to wait, to know for sure when it is time to make those moves. So let's read this. You can do hard things. There are many things in this life that we feel we cannot or should not have to do, but we must be careful of what we place in these categories, for maturity often lies on the other side. Take time today to think upon the beliefs that might be holding you back. Are you putting yourself in a box by what you cannot or should not have to do? And that might be some of that Ace of Swords in reverse. Like, what are some of these beliefs that might need some reflection, a little bit of interrogation about, what you have the capacity to do? Maybe you are selling yourself a little bit short, or counting yourself out when you are more than able to do things that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone. You just have to be able to stretch yourself a little bit further. And that might be a little scary. It might make you feel really activated, where it's like your mind and your emotions are, just going haywire, and they're kind of fueling each other in this endless loop where you need somebody maybe a trusted friend to help you, to snap you out of it. You're connected and you can reach out for help, but I also see this, have patience and wait, is being patient with yourself, while you're going through these transitions, because nothing that is meant to last happens quickly. It all comes, and that's my Capricorn moon speaking, like nothing comes without hard work. And if it does, you're probably very privileged, and that is just, what I believe from living life and coming from the school of hard knocks. Like, you learn that lesson, is that, the things that are meant to last, they are built step by step, brick by brick. So, and you can do it, Aquarius. Just make your plan. Virgo, this is a Virgo card. Virgos are good with a plan. Make a list, put some affirmations up. I can do hard things. Put that on your mirror. Put it in your car. Like, put it in your pocket, just like you would carry a crystal for protection, that wear that on your body. That's a really clear message for, I mean, all of you, but maybe, somebody needed to hear that. So, excuse me, these are the messages that I have for you this month, Aquarius. And I really think that you're going to do well. You're going to have a wonderful month ending on this Six of Pentacles energy. And I would definitely love to hear from you in the comments if any of this resonated with you, or if later in the month you find that these messages have really been helpful for you. I would definitely love to know. And I thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for your presence. I am grateful if this helped even one person. So, thank you so much. And I would appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes, and also hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I plan to release a pick a card video mid-month, and then if I have any other, special content that I just drop without announcing, you definitely want to have that notification bell on so that you don't miss it. And also make sure, if you haven't watched the collective video, that you do that as well. Okay, but again, happy birthday, Aquarius. I hope that you have a great month, and I will see you again in March. Okay, bye.